There are players who win trophies, there are players who become legends, and then there are players whose stories become bigger than football itself. For almost 20 years, Lionel Messi gave football everything: goals, magic, moments that seemed impossible. But there was always one thing missing, one trophy, one dream, one final chapter. They said he would never win it. They said the pressure was too much. They said the story would end in heartbreak. But in 2022, football witnessed something different. This wasn't just a World Cup. This was a man fighting destiny itself. This was the last dance of Lionel Messi. Before the Ballon d'Ors, before Barcelona, before the records, there was a little boy in Rosario, Argentina, a boy who loved one thing more than anything else: a football. Lionel Andres Messi was born on June 24, 1987. He wasn't the strongest, he wasn't the tallest, he wasn't the fastest, but from the moment he could walk, he could play football. His grandmother saw something special in him. She believed in him before anyone else did. She took him to training. She watched every match. She encouraged every dream. Years later, Messi would point to the sky after scoring goals. That celebration wasn't for the cameras. It was for her, because she was the first person who truly believed. As a child, Messi played football everywhere: the streets, the parks, the empty spaces between buildings. Football wasn't a hobby, it was his language, his escape, his identity. And very quickly, everyone around him realized something: this kid was different. At Newell's Old Boys, he scored goals for fun. He dribbled past entire teams. He made older players look ordinary. But football wasn't the only battle he was facing, because while Messi's talent was growing, his body wasn't. At the age of 10, Messi was diagnosed with growth hormone deficiency. His body wasn't producing enough hormones to grow properly. Without treatment, his dream of becoming a footballer could end before it even started. The treatment was expensive, far too expensive, nearly $1,000 every month. For Messi's family, it was impossible. The future suddenly looked uncertain. The most talented kid in Rosario might never become a professional footballer. Several clubs in Argentina showed interest, but when they heard about the medical costs, they stepped away. The risk was too big. The investment was too expensive. One by one, doors closed. Then a door opened: Barcelona. The Spanish giants had heard about the little boy from Argentina, a boy who dribbled like Maradona, a boy who could do things no child should be able to do. Carles Rexach, Barcelona's sporting director, watched Messi play, and he didn't need much time. He knew this boy was special. The story has become legendary. The contract was reportedly written on a napkin. Barcelona agreed to pay for his treatment. They gave him something nobody else could: a chance. At 13 years old, Messi left everything behind: his home, his friends, his country, to chase a dream. People often talk about Messi's talent. They talk about the goals, the trophies, the genius, but they rarely talk about the sacrifice. Imagine being 13 years old, moving to another country, speaking a different language, living away from everything familiar. Most children would struggle. Many would give up. Messi almost did. He missed Argentina. He missed Rosario. He missed his family. The loneliness was real. The pressure was enormous, because now everything depended on football. If football didn't work, what was left? But slowly, things began to change. The treatment worked. His body began to grow. His confidence returned. And on the pitch, he became unstoppable. Barcelona's youth coaches couldn't believe what they were seeing. This small, shy kid from Argentina was destroying everyone. He didn't just score goals, he controlled games. He created magic. He made impossible things look normal. One coach said, "We knew we were watching something special. We just didn't know how special." And soon, the entire club knew his name: Lionel Messi. In 2004, at just 17 years old, Lionel Messi made his first team debut for Barcelona, the beginning of an era. At first, he was simply another talented youngster. Then, everything exploded. Season after season, he improved. Season after season, he became more unstoppable. Ronaldinho helped him. The Brazilian superstar protected him, encouraged him, told everyone, "This kid is going to be the best in the world." He was right. Pep Guardiola arrived. and football changed forever. Barcelona became the greatest team on earth, and at the center of everything was Messi. Goals, assists, dribbles, records, trophies. He won everything. The Champions League, La Liga, the Ballon d'Or, again and again and again. By 2015, Messi had conquered club football. He had become the greatest player many had ever seen. But one question remained. One impossible question. Could he do it for Argentina? Because in his homeland, none of this was enough. Not yet. Argentina doesn't simply love football. Argentina lives football. Football is religion. Football is identity. And in Argentina, so there was only one standard: Diego Maradona, the man who carried a nation, the man who won the World Cup, the man who became immortal every time Messi wore the Argentina shirt. The comparisons returned. He's not Maradona. He hasn't won the World Cup. He disappears for Argentina. None of it mattered that he was already one of the greatest players ever. The expectations were different. For Argentina, greatness without a World Cup felt incomplete, and slowly, that pressure became heavier. He wasn't only carrying a football team, he was carrying an entire country's dreams. And the closer he came, the more painful the failures became, because the biggest heartbreak was still waiting.